Welcome back. In today's video, we will cover about queues. Now within the video, we will discuss about its array and list representation, and along with that, what are the operations that we can perform on the queue, that is traversal, insertion and deletion. So first, what is a queue basically? A queue is an ordered collection of items from which item may be deleted at one end, called as front of the queue, and into which item may be inserted at other end, called as the rear of the queue. This means it's just like a ordered collection of item, like in a particular way it has been ordered. Items are ordered. Now there are two ends. One end is used for deletion, called as a front. So a specific name is given, that is, if you want to delete something from the queue, you have to choose the end called as a front. At the same time, if you want to insert something inside the queue, you have to choose from the rear end. Now I will take a very normal example. Suppose it is a ticket counter, or you are at a shop, or any ticket is a railway ticket counter or movie ticket counter. Generally we have a line only. Here you can see any person that who want to join that queue or the line, he joins at the end. Always insertion takes place, a new addition of new people is always done at end of that particular line or the queue. We call that end as a rear end because insertion are done from that particular end. Now those person who is interacting with the ticket at ticket counter only, at the ticket counter, he will get the ticket once he pay the money, and then he will leave that line. Now that is called as deletion. You're leaving that line, you're leaving that queue. In that case, that end is called as the front end. Now the first element inserted into the queue is the first element to be removed. Obvious. In which order the element will be inserted into the queue, in that order it will be removed. Whatever will come first will be deleted first. That's why we call FIFO as the first in first out list, where the stack is called as the last in first out. So that is the difference. The queue is called as the first in first out. Whatever will come first will be the last to whatever the come first will be the first to removed. In that order it will be inserted, in that order it will be deleted. You can see here we have a human beings in a queue, and that at a particular counter here, that is the rear end, the last would be the rear end, and the front would be the where you can actually get your item and you will leave your counter. So that is the front end of the queue. Now what is the queue? Basically it has two ends, one is the rear end, one is the front end. You can see here, suppose it is an array representation basically. Suppose the number of elements that I can store in the max in this item, generally it is a implementation of the queue, is a max queue. So it should be 0 to max q minus 1, that would be the indexes. Now you can see here the rear is pointing to 2, so this means the rear is meant to point to the element that has been inserted in the queue at the last. In the last has been inserted, it will be pointing to that node, that particular element or that particular index. Where the front will always point to the first element that has been inserted in the queue, and will point to that particular index only. Okay, so that is the idea. Here you can see, if you consider this particular as a queue, the first element inserted is A, then B, and then C. So A front is pointing to the A, and the rear is pointing to the C. The rear is actually pointing to the index of C, that is 2, where front is actually pointing to the index of A, that is 0. Now if you want to insert an item, suppose you did not have any item, you are trying to insert it first time, what could be the scenario? The both would be -1 at the beginning, front is equal to -1 and rear is equal to -1. Both will jump, I am saying again, both will jump to 0, like both will go to the +1, and then you can insert. So that is the idea about the insertion for the first time. Both would be -1 and -1. So you can see here, so this is the first time you are trying to insert, the front is 0 and rear is equal to 0. Also one thing you should understand, whenever the both has a same index, similar index, that is front and rear has a similar index, this means the number of element is exactly 1. Now suppose you want to add further from it here, you will do what? Rear is equal to rear plus 1, and then you will insert. Okay. Now, so I want to add it one more time. Rear is equal to rear plus 1 and then I insert. Suppose I want to insert it one more time. Rear is equal to rear plus 1 and then I will insert. Now, so this would be the basic algorithm. It again will not cover all the cases, but most of the cases it will cover. See, in array implementation, what is going on? If rear is equal to max minus 1, means rear has already reached to the maximum level, then you have to write overflow and go to the step number 4. I am repeating again. If the rear is equal to max minus 1, this means you have already achieved you have already have maximum element possible. In that case, just write overflow and go to the step number 4, that is exit. Otherwise, if front is equal to minus 1, I am saying again, if front is equal to minus 1 and rear is equal to minus 1, means both are minus 1, okay. If both are minus 1, this means we do not have any element in the queue, so the both will jump to 0, front is equal to 0 and rear is equal to 0, and then so I have just, if both are at minus 1, this means what? See here, you can, in this particular line I am talking about, if front is equal to minus 1 and rear is equal to minus 1, in this case, since both are at a minus 1, this means we do not have any element in the queue. In that case, I both indexes front and rear will simultaneously jump to 0. Otherwise, if it is a normal case, rear is equal to rear plus 1, and once the indexes has been increased, whatever the value that you want to insert inside the queue rear. So that is the idea. Okay, you can insert it here. Now that is the insertion algorithm. The complexity would be order of 1, because we are just doing some increment in the indexes, nothing else, and then you are storing the value. Now suppose you want to delete something, just focus on the front. What is the front here? 1. So if you want to delete, copy this value into the temporary variable and then front is equal to front plus 1. If you want to delete here, copy this value to the temporary variable and front is equal to front plus 1, it would be deleted. Now here you can see, whenever the both front and rear are at the same index, and then this moment you want to delete, you copy it to the temporary variable and then put both as a minus 1, because we do not have any element left. I'm saying it again, when front and rear has the same index, similar index, in that case what the expectation is, you have only one element. Now if you delete that element, by default you should jump to front and rear both is equal to minus 1. So this will make all the conditions. I will look at the algorithm now. Again, this is not a complete algorithm, just a portion of that. What it says, if front is equal to minus 1, see, if the front is equal to minus 1 and if the front has crossed the rear, this means you already have crossed, in that case write underflow, because you can't insert any element further. Else, whatever the front you have, copy it to the value and front is equal to front plus 1, and then you can exit. Here it is not a complete, again we'll see like one by one step, we'll see how to complete this algorithm there. Okay, so the complexity would be order of 1. Now we'll see the linked list implementation of this algorithm, and then we will try to finalize a complete algorithm basically. So just let me know, take this example first. It says allocate a node, I allocated a node memory, then put up the data. Suppose I put up a data as a 2. If front is equal to null, currently the front and rear both is equal to null. So what it says, front and rear is equal to PTR. So front would be here and rear will be here. Next time, suppose I will try it 3 times. Suppose I inserted the value 3. Here the front is not equal to null, so it will go to the else part. It says rear next is equal to PTR. Whatever the PTR I have, copy it to the rear next. So this will start pointing to this node, and whatever the PTR consists, copy to the rear. So rear would be here. So rear basically jumped. This would be deleted, and then rear next equal to null. So simple steps are there basically. I will try it one more time. It says allocate a memory, so I will allocate a memory. In the previous instance here we first mark as a null and then you have updated the values. Now here what to do is you just insert the value like 4 I inserted, and then obviously the front is not null here, it is pointing to this node. This means I will jump to the else part. Else part says whatever the PTR, this particular PTR, copy it to the rear next. So what will happen here is this null will be removed and a link will be established in this node. Okay, and the PTR is equal to rear, so the rear will start pointing to this node. This would be removed. This point, the rear will not point this node further, and rear next is equal to that. So this is the insertion algorithm. Okay, so this is the insertion algorithm of a queue. So which element has been inserted first 2, then 3, and then 4. If it apply the deletion algorithm on this particular linked list, our element should be we should get the element in which order? First 2, then 3, and then 4. So let me try. Let me draw it one. Okay, so this is the case. If front is equal to null, write underflow, but this is not the case. Whatever the front consists, copy it to the PTR. Okay, so PTR now point there, and front is equal to front next, so the front will jump here, this particular position, and free PTR. Okay, it has been deleted. Which element deleted first? 2. So simple algorithm, basically it will not has much of the thing to be done. So I will try until this thing got exhausted. So this is the front now. Now I will try it once. The front is equal to null, no. So whatever the front contains, copy to the PTR. So PTR will point here. After this, front is equal to front next, so the front will point to here now. And free PTR, so this would be deleted. So I am deleting this one. So it will try it one more time. What have the data has been deleted is 3. So 3. And then again it will try, the front is not null, so the whatever the front contains, copy to the PTR, so the PTR will point here. Front is equal to front next, so the front will point to null now. Okay, so after this thing, the front will start pointing to null here, null. The front will point to the null, and front is equal to front next, it will be deleted. Okay, or free PTR. Okay, done. Then next time it will try front is equal to null, it will write underflow and exit. So in which order I am getting the element? 2, 3, 4. In this order we have inserted. So the first in first out order has been achieved or not? Yes, it has been achieved very clearly. So in both the cases, insertion or deletion, the complexity will remain order of 1 only. Simple. Okay, so that is the insertion and deletion cases, or you can say the linked list representation of the queue. Now first we have to understand what is a circular queue, and then we have to cover the what is the need of the circular queue, and then we have to cover the circular queue. Now in that case, so first we will try to understand what is a circular queue, and then we will try to devise an algorithm. Now suppose I have a queue like this. I am creating a queue. So this is like suppose front, and then this is rear. This is the case. Now first we are trying to understand what is the need of the circular queue. Suppose what I did is I have deleted front twice. So I have deleted, deletion has been done like how many times? Twice. I have deleted it 2 times. So in this case what will happen after 2 deletions? The front, this would be deleted, this would be deleted, and front will start pointing here. Okay, obviously it is the same, no issue. Now after this, suppose I want to insert one insertion I want to do. If I want to do one insertion, okay fine, I can insert. So I inserted F, and then the rear will point to the that index where the recently we have inserted. Okay. Now suppose I want to insert it one more time. If I want to insert it one more time, I would be denied, giving this saying that the rear is already reached to the max minus 1 or maximum element 0 to max minus 1, then I can't insert it further, given that we will still have some space remaining, and that is a waste of the space. Like we have the space, still my algorithm, whatever the algorithm we have studied, is denying me to insert. Now if we consider this thing, that if I've given a privilege that before saying this queue is a full, if I could check it back here in this way to the in a circular fashion, that do I have some space in the beginning or not? If I have a space, I should be allowed to insert. Suppose there is an option here, so G could be inserted here very easily, and then it could be the rear. So this is the basic use of the circular linked list. What the circular queue, what is the basic benefit is, whenever the rear is already in the last position, directly denying that you do not have the space, you should go to the first starting index and verify that if I have a space, then insertion should be allowed, and that is we call this idea we called as a circular queue. This idea we called as a circular queue. So we'll see the algorithm. Now what it says, insertion we will see first. You can see this is a simple algorithm basically. If front is equal to 0, means the front is pointing to the first index and the rear is pointing to the max minus 1. If the both condition is satisfying, then you have to write overflow. This means the front is pointing to the 0th index and the rear is pointing to the last index. If the total number of element it could be max, so 0 and max minus 1, then only write overflow. Otherwise I will take the basic condition, front is equal to minus and rear is equal to minus 1, both are minus 1. This means what it is, empty queue or not. This one is the empty queue condition. Empty queue. So empty queue condition would be front is equal to minus 1 and rear is equal to minus 1. Then both should be jump or both should be increased to the directly to the 0. Okay. Is it fine? I'm repeating, saying again. If front is equal to minus 1 and rear is equal to minus 1, this means we do not have any element, it is empty queue. In that case, the both indexes front and rear should be made as a 0. Otherwise, if rear is equal to max minus 1, means rear is max minus 1, rear has reached to the last index in the array in that particular queue, it is now pointing to the last index, and also the front is not equal to 0, means front is not pointing to the 0th index, means it is pointing to the some index more than 0, then we have some space free in the starting space. You can see here the condition. Suppose this is not has been inserted here, I will just make some deletion. I'm repeating, I'm just trying to say this condition to you. So here the rear is pointing to the max minus 1 and front is not pointing to the front is not is equal to 0, rear is equal to max minus 1, that is the maximum, and front is not equal to 0, this means we have some space remaining. In that case, set rear is equal to 0. So the entire it will just jump from this rear will start jump from here directly. That is the 0th index. So that is about the this condition handles what? Circular queue. I'm writing as a CQ. This means circular queue. Then set rear is equal to 0 as rear is equal to rear plus 1. That is a normal way. That is normal, and then once you have set the rear to the correct index, whatever the value that you have that you want to insert, copy it to the Q rear position. Okay, so you can insert here directly, not an issue. So that is the insertion, complete insertion algorithm in a circular queue that deals all the possibilities: empty queue, circular queue, and the normal queue, normal increment. The complexity would be order of 1 because we are just doing some additions with pointing to the sum of the indexes. Now if you want to delete something, what could be the case? Now if says front is equal to -1, if front is pointing to the -1, that is obvious we do not have any element in the queue, right underflow, because you can't delete, you do not have any element. Otherwise, whatever the element you have into the current front, copy to the value, so you can record it to a temporary variable. Now, it is a simple step. The first step says the front is equal to rear. If both are pointing to the same index, this means how many elements I have? One element. If I delete that, the both indexes will jump to the -1 or not? Yes. So this means this condition handles the one element. We have only one element in the queue, and then you are trying to delete that. So that should be the case. If front is equal to rear, this means only you have one element, both is pointing to the same index, then directly jump to the -1. Otherwise, if front is equal to max -1, the front is pointing to the last, then you should make a circular movement, and the front should be pointing to the 0. From max -1 to the 0 directly, that handles the circular queue. So directly we will not say it is empty. Since it is a circular movement is possible, will jump to the 0th index, and then again I will have to verify. Otherwise, for the normal, it should be, it is the normal case, front is equal to front plus, so that is the normal queue. So and then you will exit. Complexity would remain as a order of 1, because we are just handling some of the indexes with just plus and minus, nothing else. So it should be a normal case. The last one is the normal, the first one is the one element case, the second case is the S part is the circular case, that is LSF, or otherwise the final S would be the normal case. The complexity would be order of 1 in the worst case, average case, or the best case. Okay, so we'll end up here, and that is all about the queue for today. Thank you everybody.